Well, welcome back to Channel Ron. We're back on the Kenmore 700. We have a no heat issue. I'm going to go ahead and test a few components and see if we can get this up and going. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to do something a little bit different on this because I really want to be able to show you what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to lay the dryer on its back so we can get in there and see what's going on. So we're going to need to remove the bottom of this dryer, and it's very simple to do. There's a couple of clips in there. All you need to do is just kind of stick your screwdriver in there and release those, and you should be able to pull that right out of there. There's going to be a couple of clips. You don't want to lose those. If they stay on, great. This one here fell off. And what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on this area right down in here. So there's going to be 5 things that we need to test. We have the heating element. We have a thermal cutout here, another thermal cutout down here. We have one over here, and we also have the thermal fuse, which is over here, okay? So we need to test those 5 items, and to do that, we're going to need a multimeter. So get a multimeter, and you're going to want to set it to continuity. And now it's going to have like a little tune-looking thing on it, or it may say continuity. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the meter to do that. Okay, that's testing continuity. So what we need to do first is we need to test to make sure that we have continuity on each one of these devices. And it's very simple to do. All we need to do is go ahead and go on to our heating element, and if we touch that and we get continuity, we know that the heating element is good. A lot of times you need to disconnect one side or the other to get a correct reading, but in this case here we don't have to. I'm going to do the same thing down here with this one. All right, and now I'm going to go way down there below on that last one, and we're not getting anything on that one. All right, so before we go any further, let's go ahead and test this one. Get a connection there, get a tone there, and then the thermal fuse itself. It's a little tough to get in there, especially when you're trying to film it. So I'm getting a reading on all of those except the one down on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and pull that bottom one out of there, and it's a 1/4-inch socket. All right, so now what we need to do is disconnect it. Just pull those terminals out of there, and this is what you should end up with. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll actually test that while it's out. I'm sure I'm going to still get the same reading. I've got nothing. All right, so that's the culprit right there. Everything else tested okay except this one. So now we need to go ahead and replace that. So I got online, and while looking for that one thermal cutout, they actually had a package that you could replace all 4 of those. Okay, each one of these is sold individually for probably $4 or $5 more, and I bought the whole kit. Now I only need the one, all right, but I bought the whole kit anyways because I'm always working on these, and I may need just the thermal fuse like I did on this particular dryer a couple of years ago. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put those off to the side and replace this one unit. So we take the new thermal cutout. Let's go ahead and test it. There we go, we got tone. So all we need to do now is put this back in the dryer, put it all back together, power it up, and we should have heat. So let's go ahead and just put that back in. So then go ahead and just plug the terminals back on. All right, let's go ahead and put it all back together. Okay, there it is. It's running great. It's heating up with no problem. So just to kind of recap what I had done, I went in and I tested all the components. I did the heating element first, and then I went to each one of these different thermal cutouts, and I also tested the fuse as well. I did not bother replacing them all that came with the kit, but this was the culprit right here. And remember, you're going to need a multimeter to do this. Just don't go in there and just start replacing parts. You need to find out which one is bad, and we found out which one it was, and we went in and replaced that. So that's pretty much all there is to it. I know it was really tough to get a good view of that. I didn't really want to take the tub out. That might be the right way to do it, disassemble it, pull the tub all out so you can get down in there. But I felt comfortable getting in there and replacing it. As far as filming it, that's a different story because it was really, really tight to get in there. So well, I hope this helps you with your no heat on your Kenmore Dryer 700, and stay tuned for the next one.